All right, thank you so much. We thank God for this day. Today is Sunday, the 13th of the month October. We bless God for your life, and we thank you for doing the listening right here in the studios of Palace TV. Today is going to be a wonderful day, a wonderful section. We're bringing on your way with great guests this evening. So I just want you to please share the video. I want you to be part of this program. Any thought, any concern, any question that you want to ask, just put your questions and your contributions across, and I will read them pretty quick. So that is what I want you to do. And share to a friend, invite a friend to invite a friend, copy and paste a friend, subscribe to our YouTube page, and share for everybody to be part of it. We know the topic that we're gonna discuss is kind of very controversial and a very great topic in every man's life, in every marriage. So we kind of trying to make things to look it better way as a Christian way, or anyhow we're gonna put it, and how you feel about it. So just join us this evening, this afternoon, this morning, wherever and however you're doing the listening. I'll be grateful to read your comment. Thank you so much. We're gonna discuss selfishness in bed, and we've been treating this topic for some months now, in a different way, but we decided to go into bed aspects as a couple, as a married couple. We're not doing for singles. So it's good to listening, it's good to get knowledge, it's good to get ideas, but we're talking about married couples. So it might be sometimes straightforward, it might be kind of, don't worry, just bear in mind with that. Sometimes it's hard to say it, but once you know what you're talking about, it is cool. So thank you so much for joining us this evening, this afternoon, this morning, wherever you're doing the listening. Like I said, we're gonna discuss the topic selfishness in bed, and I have my great guest here, who is in a person of Minister Christina Boateng, and she has been so awesome. She has been so great on our programs on marriage and happiness, and for some reason we couldn't get other guests, Minister Hannah and Minister Stephanie, but hopefully next time they will show off on this program. So thank you so much for doing the listening, and for doing the watching right here on Facebook and on YouTube. I'll be your host. You can call me Rachel. Thank you so much, Minister. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been a while. It's been a while that we met, and because of monthly programs, we've not been able to meet the time that we want to meet. So it's my pleasure to have you. And how are you doing?
I'm fine.
All the time fresh, you know.
Thank you for having me tonight.
all the time you're looking fresh. That's wonderful. That's the grace of God. Yeah, we thank God for your life, and we thank God for your husband for allowing you to be on this great show. It's Sunday. You have family time. You have to take care of the children. You have to go out. You see, but all this, you have that patience to be with us this evening. So I'll just want you to say something pretty quick. How you doing, and your family life?
We thank the Lord for another day. We thank the Lord. We are all doing fine. My husband is doing great, and the kids are all doing great. So I'm just happy to be here one more time again to share what God has for us this evening.
Great. Thank you so much. So I want us to share a word of God, a word of prayer. Then we proceed to the topic. So I will let you lead us in prayer.
Adonai, we thank you this evening for such a time that you have opened for us one more time again. We are not here just to show off, but we are here tonight to share and learn something from your word concerning marriage. It's our prayer that we will be helpful to whoever is listening on the other side. We pray that people will take words, they will learn something tonight that will change your life. That's the main goal, that this program will help marriages to keep it intact. So it's our prayer that tonight too, you usher us, oh God, into knowledge, things that we cannot even explain it ourselves, but you, Jehovah God, will take control and speak through us to your children that are in need at this time. We thank you. We bless you. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Pretty quick, if you just join us, you're listening to Marriage and Happiness on the pulpit, on Palace TV, and you're joining us with me and my great guest here, Minister Christian Abuatin, joining me on the topic selfishness in marriage, selfishness in bed, as well as selfishness in marriage, because we've been treating that topic and we're diving into this topic today. So if you just join us, please, I want you to share the video, tell a friend to tell a friend, connect a friend, link a friend, invite a friend, subscribe to our YouTube page. We're streaming live on YouTube and at the same time on Facebook. Time check is about 49 minutes past the hour 3. We're still kicking here. So if you just join us, thank you so much for your time. And I know by the end of this program, things that you're supposed to hear or what you're supposed to make, listen to make your life better or your marriage better, you get it here, and we'll give glory to God. So thank you so much for your time. Minister, let me just, for the sake of the topic, we know marriage, Bible says in the book of Genesis, is an institution, and that God has established it. And so we should be honored in that institution. And when we cut our cross in marriage, we have 7 keys in marriage why somebody can get married. And one time my father was saying, sex is the last key in marriage, but we nowadays count sex before every other thing. And when we let those things lead us into it, if we don't see the way we want it, it is easier for us to get out. So I want us to talk about this topic, because most of marriages are collapsing because of this topic that we're about to treat. And I know you are into marriage for years, so you have more idea, you have more knowledge, and so I want you to bless our viewers with this topic. So why is selfishness in marriage?
Thank you. Selfishness
In bed. Sorry.
In the bedroom.
In the bedroom.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
It is true that marriage is something that should be honored.
Okay.
A man have to honor the wife have to honor the husband. And quickly, I just want us to read 1 Corinthians 7. It talks about sex and marriage.
Okay.
And here,
1 Corinthians chapter 7.
Yes. 7. Let's start from 1.
So now for the matters you wrote about, it is good for a man not to have sexual relation with a woman. 2. But since sexual immorality is occurring, each man should have sexual relation with his own wife, and each woman with her own husband. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. 4. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but yield it to her husband. In the same way, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but yield it to his wife.
Let's pause over there.
Okay.
So this whole thing that we have picked, portion of it to talk about, selfishness in the bedroom. We are not talking about just the bed, the wardrobe, and the clothes in the room that is crowded all over the place. We are talking about intimacy. Here Paul was somewhere minding his own business, and these people wrote to him, and he was responding back. He said it is proper. When you read the Passion Version, he said it is proper for a man to live in celibacy, perhaps, but because of the danger of immorality. That means this self, the body that we carry, is desiring something. And what is it? It's sex. And since human being cannot control it, one have to get married. That's the main reason.
If you can't control it.
Yes. So he said if it was his own idea and advice, he would say a man should stay alone and don't get married. Stay in celibacy. But because of something, he advised that a man should get married. And getting married too, at the same time, you have a duty to play right there. It says the man have to fulfill the pleasure of the wife. Did we read that portion?
Yeah, I think so. It says the husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband.
Good. So a man have to fulfill his duties in the bedroom for his own wife, not the side chick. And the woman have to do likewise. But what have brought us to this point right now, and we are discussing this topic, that we can see that things have shifted around. The thing that have supposed to be pleasure, something that we have to enjoy, something that we have to prepare ourselves before we enter into it. It's not a rush. Things have come vice versa. Things have changed. So one have to learn, and we have to go by the principles of God. So sex is something that God have approved. As long as you are married, it's a pleasure. You enjoy it. It's fun. But it doesn't have to be a chore. So sex become a chore, that means there have been a bridge that have been broken. And that's what we are about to discuss. Then it becomes one-sided. One person is the one enjoying and the other one just being there. And that's the cycle tonight we are trying to discuss and break free from it.
That is good point, but you made mention not a side chick. I know we're gonna basically base on marriage, and so like it says, it should be only your wife. And so if marriage is an institution, if somebody say, well, I know sex is part of marriage, I have to fulfill it, but there are other things which we are supposed to base or focus on, and the sex have to be, because when the sex become the main focus, and if you go in and you don't get it the way you want it, maybe somebody might say, well, I want it three times a day, like a place 4 times or 5 times, and you don't get it, then you say to yourself, so why did I get into? So if it's gonna be the main focus, then we're gonna mix the way. What are the things that we should focus, and maybe sex is part of it, is important thing to be part of marriage. So what are the things that we have to focus on, or we should focus on only in bedroom?
There is so many areas in marriage that one have to look into. I think for the couple of months we have discussed how we prepare into marriage, what we look for in marriage, and what we are expecting and what we want to accomplish. So when it comes to marriage, it's not just the sex alone. One prepare for a whole lot of things. That's why I think the beginning, I think we talk about around courtship time, the things you talk about, the important things in each of your lives that you need to share, your experiences and what you are anticipating and what you want to fulfill in your marriage. So as we are discussing about all these things, the children we want to get and everything, I think in the beginning, before you even say I do, that's one area too. You have to know the capacity or how your husband or your wife to be, how he likes or enjoy, like how he wants to be, have sex or anything. So once you are entering into it, because I think counseling time, one get the opportunity to learn the other part side, because as Christians we need to wait until we get married before we have sex. But really that we see now, people sleep and even get a whole bunch of things before they get married. Before they come to the altar, they have seen themselves already. So it's nothing new. But if you haven't and you are praying to stay virgin or whatever, so you go to the altar, these are the things that you need to know from your partner. So when you say you know all of about it and you still go into it, then you have to prepare yourself. So if my husband is say I'm somebody who really enjoys sex, I don't want just one time or whatever, it's something that you two can discuss about it. Because once you say I do, it's your life on the line. And since sex have to be something that we are all enjoying, and it doesn't have to be stressful or a chore, then we need to address it. Because maybe the man or the woman have been in the world before. Maybe you, the husband, is not the first person. He has slept with a couple of men, so he has got to know all different kind of men, sizes, shapes, and whatever it is. But here in the case, maybe you, the guy, have not even have a girlfriend before. So in this one have to bring what they know and what they're expecting to be on the table, so that it can be discussed before we even enter our matrimonial homes. But if you don't, that's when it becomes something. Let me bring this across. There is this sweet lady that I know that they and the husband have been married, now I would say 7 years, and this sweet girl who really loved the Lord, like she doesn't have to open her mouth, but it gets to a point that she have to confess to a pastor, I want a divorce. And the pastor was shocked, and he said, no, you are not the type of woman I'm expecting such a word from you, asking for a divorce. Why? I know your husband, he sells around the church, he's a good guy. So what is going on? So at the bottom of it, not to make my story too long, the woman said, before I will tell you what is going on, I want him to be here so that we can talk about it. So the woman started. He said, I love my husband. He is this, he is this, everything a woman may desire for. My husband have it. But there is something that if I don't speak out for it to change, I might lose myself and maybe I will make it to heaven. So the pastor is like, what is it? Tell me. He said, my husband have let sex become a chore. I have sex with him and it look like it's being forced through my throat. Because he comes from work, he won't take a shower. I'm in the middle of taking the case. He wants me to run to the bathroom or the bed to have sex. I'm tired of it. So the man hasn't come to a point that though the wife is being submissive and doing everything, but not from the bottom of the heart. She is just doing it so that chaos won't break apart in the house. But that's not how sex and marriage supposed to be. The man needs to learn. So the pastor was like, that's all. He said yes. He needs to know the time, read in between the times. before he asks. Because when I say I'm busy, I'm doing, he get upset. He either goes out or maybe like it become a whole battle. And
So
inside of it.
yeah, in this case, like if she were to be other person, it would have collapsed because of the marriage, and she wanted to speak out so that it would not be in her, so that she'll be keeping it and she'll be dying in it.
Yeah.
So this guy is coming from somewhere that he came in the marriage and it was part of his focus. So the way he's gonna do it is gonna be something
In his way.
in this way.
How I want it. The time I want it.
So should we, is that selfishness? Because how would they turn back if the lady also want to have sex with that person?
It's selfishness on the guy's part. I couldn't finish my story, but this is the thing the pastor advised it, and he said yes. So the man also was not given any advice about sex. So he have no clue. He think he's just doing his duty as a husband. But actually it was killing the wife inside. So because sex is something that we desire. It's not like, okay, you are my wife, you are home, so anytime I come, let's go. No, a woman needs to be prepared into the mood, because men are easy. Like men, even they see you naked, it's all over and done with. But a woman, it takes time. Because when we were young, it's different. Now I'm growing old, we marry, we have kids. There is so much going on during the day. So in the evening, I need some time to take a breath. Then you, the man, need to run me into that atmosphere. So when we get into that point, we are all doing something with one heart. I'm able to satisfy you and you are able to do the same for me. But here is the case. I'm pounding fufu. There is a guest who is helping me to pound the fufu. You say, take a break, come to the bedroom and see me. It's selfishness. You can hold your temper because you are going to take a shower, eat. The evening is for us. So that's where a man or a woman needs to think about stuff like that when we get married. Before we make sex become like medicine. Somebody will say, how? Because most marriages nowadays, sex is not enjoyable anymore. It's just a duty. If women will speak out, it's a duty. So I'm just doing it for doing its sake. But when it comes to that point, there is no blessing in it. But if I am ready, I'm wide open, I'm ready to receive my husband, my mind is set, my emotions, everything is in tune now. Everything runs smoothly.
So would the woman have to prepare the mind, or the man have to prepare the woman's mind?
Somewhere a woman can prepare his own mind, because like, you know, okay, after a whole long day of I need to relax on the shoulder of my husband. You know, we need that quiet time. I know over here it's hard because man going, woman coming in. But there is one day at least couples are home together. So as you wake up, your mind is set. You like, okay, tonight we are all home. Though you may not speak to your husband and tell him, okay, this is what I'm preparing, but you are hearing everything during the day, the text messages, the calling, everything. You are letting him know, yes, tonight is our night. Tomorrow morning we are not going to work. All of us are going to be home. So when you come home, you are preparing, both of you are preparing yourself. But how many people have that time? Man come home and is tired, he's laying in the couch asleep. A woman is running after the kids, homework and everything. So while she also go upstairs, she's trying to lay down. The man have taken a little nap, so he have energy. So he's ready to fly. When it comes to that point and the woman say, I am tired, most people say, we don't want to hear that word. She's a human being. Definitely she's going to tell you I'm tired. But a man have to read, okay, my husband worked this hours, this is okay, let's sleep a little bit, let's get that rest, and we all get into the mood and do whatever we're supposed to do. That's where selfless have come in. But if the person is selfish, like he wants it right now, whether you are ready or not, some women will say anything, they will just lay there.
And if they lay down, you as a man, so it doesn't make sense, and you yourself, it doesn't feel right, because when you just go in, like you said, you have to prepare the person's mind and develop some concept to attract it. But if it doesn't happen, well, we have so many things. That's why we treated about feelings in marriage, how you shouldn't bring somebody feeling in that marriage, and all this count to when getting married, because like most of the problems and the issues that we're going in marriage now is from the beginning, from the onset, how we started it. And so how are you gonna get into it with your partner with this situation? From where? When did it start? Should the pastors or for the counselors to counsel more into it, or it is the personal interest? Or this is, no matter what I heard, no matter what is heard. Can a counselor teach you or show you the ways to go about in everyday's life, or you have to build that concept by yourself and know how to make things right? Because if you want to make things right in marriage, there are some things you don't want to do and you don't have to do. Like what you're saying, the woman is very understandable woman. But if you don't have the person who understands you, it will make it difficult. So I don't think the woman just get up and went to the pastor. They have been talking about it.
Okay, for that part, she actually did not go deep to me. Okay, but I think in some way she must have said maybe it's enough, or I'm tired or something. She must have spoke out, but it didn't work. But there was another story that also I heard that the pastor was saying that this guy was getting married, and in Ghana back home, he went and bought those bitches.
Yeah.
Okay. So this macho guy married to a tiny 5'4" lady, trying to be on top of this woman every minute, like 6-8 times a day. He almost killed the girl.
Yeah.
And from his side, he thinks he was actually doing what he's supposed to do, because he have been a virgin all his life. So now that he have got the right to do it, he wants to do it any moment he feels like it, whether the woman was ready or not. No. At the point, one have to speak out. And speaking out, you have to get the right people that you are telling them about this situation, because it's a little bit sensitive. So if you want your marriage, you need to get somebody that your husband or your wife respects, and somebody that you can, like somebody who can hold your tongue and don't bring your issues out there for the whole world to know. Though they can use an example, but actually they are not going to look down on you because you and your husband have stuff like that. So marriage and bedroom issues, to the point of my knowledge, I think it's something that one have to put in mind the feelings of the other person. Read in between the lines, then you know how to work your things around. Because to have a peaceful and enjoyable marriage, sex is good. One have to enjoy it. It's enjoyable. But the thing is, as you have married, let's put that mind like, okay, today I feel like doing this. Is my wife ready? Is this? Like we have these phones, we can text your husband or your wife. You can start communicating during the day. So even the lady is doing an overtime or doing something, she have in mind, tonight my husband needs me. tonight my wife needs me. So whatever I'm doing, I have to save some energy for that person when I go home. So with this, we are communicating. But some marriages, there is nothing like that. There is, because you are my wife, I'm ready. Whether you are ready. No.
That's abuse, man.
Yes.
Let me read this quote. Viewers joining us, this is Paris TV and Marriage and Happiness. We're treating selfishness in bedroom. So if you have any comment, contribution, just share on the page, and I'll be reading all your questions and contributions. Let me read this. It says, sex is a beautiful thing. It has the power to bring two people closer, strengthen their bond, and give them both immense pleasure. But sometimes sex becomes only about one person's, while completely ignoring the other's need and desire. This probably means that one of the partner is selfish in bed. So when you come across this situation, when you come across this person, it is good, but it came to a point that one person said, because of what happened, I'm exempting myself from you, or I'm just ignoring you, forgetting what you want. When it happened that way, what would you do?
Okay, can you come back again?
So it is good to have sex, and it comes to a point that couples might have grudges, and in this case, when you have that sexual intimate, it gets you closer. And if the lady is trying to get to the man, I feel like, though we have this grudge, but I feel like being with you, I feel like having sex.
When the other person,
and then the other person kind of, because of what it has happened, because of the argument, because of what we done, no, I'm not gonna, and it can take forever. So what would you react?
As Christians, and hopefully I know we are talking to Christians tonight.
Yeah.
And if you are not a Christian and you have tuned into the channel, maybe God wants you to hear what we are sharing too. The thing is, the Bible said we should not, the sun goes down on our anger. That means we should not go to bed as married couple whilst we are mad at each other. Whatever have happened under the sun, we need to settle it. So if we sleep over it, we have given the enemy the middle of our bed for him to control. So in this case, since sex have to be something that we are enjoying, one have to find a way. Even the man, you know you are right. And if it's you that have to say, I'm sorry, to make everything like forget, apologize, and let's go over. One have to make that choice to do. Because once you don't do it, as the day goes by, I'm angry, so I'm not going to sleep with him. I'm not going to sleep with her. Temptation are all over. Sometimes when we see a brother or sister have fallen into some of these things, sometimes we marvel, how can they leave it together? Yes, it can. Because once we are not agreeing or trying to forgive what have happened, and flames and everything is going on, the enemy will send an agent. Maybe your husband don't have any idea sleeping around, but before you know, since he's not getting at home, a cleaner in the work will offer it for free, and he's going to run into it. Or maybe a housekeeper will start sleeping with your wife at the workplace because the husband is maybe upset, doesn't want to talk to her, or does giving her anything. So it's very tricky. If we want our homes and we want our marriages to stay, sex is something that we should not hold on our husbands. Whatever the case is, like, find a way to settle every issue, because let me tell you, the one that you are ignoring, somebody is praying over it. You may think you have put a ring on their finger, so nobody care. As the ring is still there, somebody is praying for it. So if we let quarrel and all these unnecessary things take over, and because of that I'm not sleeping with you, I don't come close to me, the bed, America here is funny, everybody have a king size. So one is on the east, one is on the north. We can put 6 people in the middle, we still cannot touch each other. So we have opened the room wide. But if you are married and something happened, the best thing, before you go to sleep, learn how to solve the issue. It might be painful. Whatever your husband or your wife have done, maybe it's painful. But to keep that covenant and keep that bed holy is best thing that one should learn how to forgive. And don't let your husbands or wife go hunger on sex.
Thank you so much. This very wise said. I appreciate this thought. Thank you so much. Let me read this from this quote. It said, "I don't care." He responded, "I love it." When you have a selfish person and they got what they want, they don't even care about your feeling. They don't even care about. And now we read the quote that you read. That's I think the verse 15. It says verse 15 is, but if the unbeliever leaves, in case of this situation, and the person is not a Christian, because when people do things, you see their capability, you see their character, you see who they are. Though they might be Christian, but they are just being a Christian for you, or to get something from you, or to get you. So when they get you, all that they want is what they have gotten to. So they can treat you any way. But you as a believer, you as a Christian, and you go through and you see that, oh, this is not right, it shouldn't be this way. You've been talking about it for some times, and the person keep doing it, and they don't even care about your feelings. And he said, if that unbeliever leaves, let it be so. The brother or sister is not bound to, in such circumstance, they are not bound into what you are trying to make things right. They are not bound with it. They can do anything, but if you leave, the Bible doesn't count it. Like it's not a sin. You try your best. That's why, because most of the Christians and are in marriages, sometimes it has become a headache when somebody found themselves in this situation, whether to go or to come. And if you don't take care, you yourself cannot live for the purpose of God. Because of somebody's selfishness, it will end you up in some way. Even for you to kill yourself. Do you have to kill yourself in that situation, or when you live is better than to kill yourself?
I think here he was actually talking about divorce.
Yeah.
Okay, like a person become a Christian.
Just like what you the emphasis that you made about somebody's a lady and a guy, because it can lead to that situation.
Definitely. But here is a case like this. Here is really talking about both unbelievers, that one have become a Christian, and because he or she have become a Christian, the other one is not able to stand. He doesn't want the person going to church. He doesn't want the person to get involved in church activities, and because of that, the other one wants to, or she wants to leave. For that case, the person can go, because now you have become a new creature. You are a child of God. Like the person you are married to or you were living with is unbeliever. So if he's not willing to abide in the house with you as a Christian, but actually have decided to leave and go, you, the woman, that you have nothing to do with it, or the man, the person can go. You don't have to follow or chase him, because we all started from the wrong note. But I am trying my best. I've come to know the Lord. I'm trying to encourage you, advise you that the things that we do, I'm not doing it anymore. So because I'm not drinking again, I'm not going to the parties, you have decided to walk away. I'm not going to turn away from my Jesus that I have come to know. So this person is not bound in any way. If you are leaving me or you are divorcing me because I have become a Christian, the door is wide open, you can go. But here is the case that if you, both of you, are Christian, and there is still help out there, the fact that there is little mistake or something that you don't like that have come in the marriage, you say, I'm leaving or I'm walking out because this is not what I bargained for. No. At first, you need to consult a pastor or a counselor, somebody in the Lord, so that with the Bible and everything, they can talk to you and coach you. Because sometimes the knowledge and the ideas that we get from the world, we think sex might have to be this way. Sounds like there are some issues that when you hear about it, it's sickening. It's sickening to talk about.
The thing is, sometimes it is difficult for a believer, two believers, to behave like that. Sometimes understandable for each other, because you know the word. It is good to treat your woman, to get to your woman, to understand her, for her to understand you. But when maybe you have a new Christian, a new believer coming to Christ and getting married, maybe you are far, but the things that you want it to be, the person doesn't understand, it will be very hard. You can get a person through it a little bit. If the person is very serious to do something, they will abide it. But here's the case, you found somebody, you think that the person goes to church, and you are, or everybody, you guys are Christian, you got married. For what I'm saying, so many marriages that are broken, it takes a wise woman and a wise man to sustain their marriage. And so many people are making it. But this end time, this youth and young adult, it is getting out of hand. Because the way we see things, we go in with sex. That is our main focus. And if you leave everything around and focus on sex, when you go in, it's not every day that you're going to have sex. So what are the other things? So we have to, that's why I was talking about counseling. Do we have to, the counselor have to push that one, put it first. This is what you're going to face. This is what it's supposed to be. You don't have to. If we as a Christian, we should understand. If you don't understand, that means the person is not willing to accept whatever is going to be.
I think we need to, like counseling time, most counselors that I know in churches, that's one area that they actually take a lot of time to stress on it. But just as you say, why our youngsters, their marriages are not lasting, the fast food, we want everything fast. Let me ask you, if 10 people are married, give me out of the 10, how of them were able to even go for the counseling? Most people don't have time for it, but they will have time to work overtime to do that 30,000 and 40,000 wedding. That is just 5 minutes, 5% of the marriage. So I always say that marriage is not something. When we were young, when our mothers and our pastors and elders were talking about marriage, we thought they were trying to discourage us because they're already in. If you are listening to me and you are young, let me tell you, whatever an elder and an older person is telling you, they've been through that route before and they are telling you the truth. Because if you are taking time to go under counseling, under training before you enter marriage, nothing will surprise you, trust me. We are seeing that outcome because our youngsters and our youth, there is no patience. They see how somebody is doing it on that phone and they think that's what my husband have to do. They see that little girl who is under influences of drugs, how they are having sex. That's how my wife have to be. No! There is a case that I witnessed recently. actually it's not like almost 5 years, that these married people, they've been married, their kids are, some of them are in college, like grown-ups. And this man want her wife, oh my God, I can't say it, but it's nasty. And the lady say, I can do this. Whoever you started that thing with, I can do it. I'm an old-time lady, and this is how I know sex supposed to be. And the husband is not just the usual way. There is another way we can do it to enjoy it. It was a battle. Giving a blowjob, if your girlfriend is giving you a blowjob at work, why do you want to carry that to your matrimonial home? Oh, and it's bad. It was bad. And this woman said, I can do it. They have to go through a struggle, go through pastoral, like a whole lot. People have to come in to save their marriage. Because some of these guys can give you something and you think that is the best. But you don't know the spirit that is behind that girl who is doing that. So if you want your wife to tend to be a prostitute and give you a sex like a prostitute, it's going to be hard because you have never been to that trade before. She can learn at her own comfort and if she wants to do it. But you don't force it under her throat that this is how the girls are doing it now, so you have to do it. No, you need to break your house apart. There is so many ways married people can enjoy. There was this young girl who married an older person, and the man's impotency was kicking and things were not right. This girl couldn't share. She's suffering, like she's going through a hell. The husband taking medicine and all these things. But thank God she met a wise woman to advise her the things she's supposed to do. And thank God to all this medical and prayer and everything. They survived it and finally got 2 kids. If it's our days and these people that are helping one another, somebody will say, oh no, I don't have time for this. I did not pay. No. So in marriage, there is so much, things can happen. You can marry a handsome, young, like vibrant guy. Something can happen. Accident happen. He's paralyzed. You're going to leave your husband because he can't perform? No. So we should look in so many ways. If we are married and we are Christians, there are so many avenues that we need to be patient. When we talk about sex, we have to look in so many areas. We don't have to be, this is how I want it. No. Learn how to be on the other person's feet too, so that we can balance it. Because if we don't do that, that's where selfishness come in and somebody is in pain. There is people who are married and their wife don't even know when they are satisfied or not. All the man know, papa, his work, he's gone. So the woman doesn't have no interest because she's not getting out of it. All she get at the end of the month, she's pregnant and having another baby. If we talk about satisfaction in bed, there is none. Because the moment the man hits bam 5 minutes, she's done and gone and sleeping. It's selfishness. You, the man, have to work the woman to the point that she also have come to your limit, then both of you will come enjoy. So if the next time you are coming in, she say, I'm tired, I'm having a headache. This is why women are giving all these excuses. I've worked 16 hours, I have cleaned the shop. Yes, when she was young, she was able to do triple. But still go to the boyfriend's house and have good sex. But why is it that now I'm married, I have the lances to do everything? She's not satisfied. It has become a chore.
So, wow. Our viewers, thank you so much. This is deep. Sometimes it is hard to say, but when it comes to it, you have to hit it. And I know our dear sister is hitting it tight. So, if you have any thought, any concern, just channel on the page, and I'll be reading it. Tinavine, thank you so much. You're welcome on this great show. I think you are late and very soon we'll be signing out. But if you just join us, we're talking about selfishness in bedroom. With me is Minister Christina Boateng, and I am your host. Sorry, I'm having a code, a very immediate code, so I know I'm not gonna give it to you.
No,
sorry about that.
Keep it in Jesus' name.
Minister Hannah, thank you so much for doing the watching. I know something happened, you couldn't join us this evening. So if you have any contribution, just channel it. 31 minutes past the hour 4, and I'm still your host, channel on this program. And thank you so much for joining us this evening, this afternoon, this morning, wherever and however you tune in. It is just a blessed day and a wonderful day to be on this great show. And I know you're getting something. If you have any thought, any idea, just channel it, and I'll read all your comments. Let me ask this. We're trying to find solutions. Like I said, we have so many things to talk about, and in marriage, sex is the last thing we should think about. Just like you said, if you carry, people are concerned about where I carry this money to wed you, I carry this money to marry you. This is what the Bible says is an institution. So if this is happening, and if we're thinking about this, thinking about the money that we have, or thinking about what we spent, then we cannot get paid in that marriage, because you're not gonna get paid. You have to come together and work things out. So why would it have to be somebody's turn, somebody's portion? Or this is how it's supposed to be. I want it, and I want it now. You're supposed to give it to me because you are the woman. Just obey. Bible says, be humble for your husband, be submissive. It's not kind of that submissive. So why are we believers? What are we Christians doing in this situation? Because most of it happen if somebody outside, not a believer, they are easy to go. But some people are dying in marriage because of sex. So what would you tell somebody? What would you speak to? What would you encourage somebody as a Christian believer, as a Christian woman or a man who is going through that situation? What would you say to them?
One, I just advise them to seek help, because sometimes the people we slept with before we become Christians, most of them carry demons and stuff, and they have leave us with some stuff. We may not see, but we carry it all the time. Because sex is an intimacy. We are given something, and we are taking something from somebody. So if before you become a Christian, if you know yourself that you have slept around with different kinds of women and different kind of men, to tell you the truth, you need deliverance. You need to confide in a pastor that you trust, who is prayerful, to help you in prayer. Because somewhere along the line is going to surface. Nobody knows when it's going to trigger, because some of these demons can hide. So you have get to the point that they know you have breakthrough, and they will turn you an enemy. So some of these people, if you know you are struggling in any area, the only advice I will tell you is that seek help. There is no shame at all. The blood still cleanses. If you are a man, and when you are ready and you cannot control your body, and you can't have resistance, to tell you the truth, you are married and you will still sleep over, because your wife will never be enough.
In that case, you need a prayers.
Yeah. And if you are a woman and you have that urge all the time, non-stop, and you know your background, where you are coming from, the only thing I would advise you is that seek help. Because sex is not supposed to be compulsion, like it's on your throat. Once you have the desire, I have to find some, whether it's a dog. And some marriages is like that. I carry all this money, I did all this double, come to Africa to get married, bring you over here, or you can tell me you're having headache, you don't feel fine. No, get in the bedroom. No. when you get to that point, the only advice I would say is that ask for help.
Ask for help. And like you said, it's not many people understand the spiritual things. And sometimes when you say it, they'll go overboard because they don't know what you're talking about. And it's true. The things that we see, because marriage, because when you come together, it's when two agreed, it is something better than one. So when Satan knows that two are going to agree to make something
good out of something,
Satan don't want it to happen. So he will come in and bring confusion. And those are the things, if you don't take care, you will have a spirit that will be manipulating the woman or the man. You might think that, oh, it is okay, it is normal, that is his behavior.
No.
Spiritually, it is not like that. It is how the spirits are manipulating. And so if you are a woman and you don't consider that and go on your knees and pray for your husband, that's why it's good to get together, because if you see that it's not everything that before you even go to your pastor, you have to go on your knees and pray to God. He gave you that institution to be in. And it's not easy. It is, now we know it is sex, but two spiritual things, we are going wayward. We don't want to pray. If we take prayer out from the seed, from the marriage, it won't work. No matter how you guys love yourself, something can happen that make the man or the woman just say something that you guys will never be together anymore. So you said it right. Spiritual things are part of it, but we don't have time for that.
Me too.
We don't. It is very hard for a man to go on his knees and pray to God, Lord, this is the woman you gave to me. This is what is going. If you try, you pray, and the person, it is just his or her habit. No matter what you pray, no matter what the counseling, the person will leave. If it happened, you've done your part.
Yeah.
But we lack it, and I'm consistent on the youth and young adult. Like elderly people, they've passed by, they've know how to go about it, so they are surviving. When you see your pastors and your pastor's wife having all these years and they are so together, you ask yourself, so
what did they do?
And because they are compromising for each and everyone. It is not everything that we can get it right.
No.
But as we youth, do we have that patience? You may mention it. It's a wise thought. We don't have that patience.
Yeah.
So if let's take this last one, then we'll wrap up. I don't know how people can make it to sustain marriage. Sometimes I see my spiritual father, I see my spiritual fathers, and I ask. There's one Pastor Alfred, Papi, and Mama Esther. Some ages now, they have become like brothers and sisters. They look alike. And you ask yourself, so how? What happened? Is it that, oh, they are like angels? They are not. Pastors go through so many things in marriage because they are leading. They don't want anything to come out. They don't want anything to happen. So even they have the patient and we don't have it. So what would you say, or what would you tell somebody where this is what we're going through? It is not easy. I just want you to advise the youth and young adult, because so many things, we hear so many things, and people are just going in and coming out because of one situation. Like I said, my father said, sex is the last thing in marriage, but we go in with that last thing to be our priority. So like you said, if your husband get accident and something happen, if your wife get accident and something happen, and that person cannot have sex anymore, what would you do? Then you're gonna pack your things and say, "Where I'm going," because
the deal is over.
It is over. Because it's gonna be a long term if you don't have the heart of God on you.
Yeah.
How are you gonna stay in that situation? But it is somebody who have been bred by God. Just fulfill God's purpose. Just live the life that we live in. It is not easy, but sometimes we as a human being, we have to get through it. So what would you say?
The only thing I would say, I know this is an introduction, since today I'm the only one here.
Because we're going to continue when...
we need to continue because it looks like I'm picking from all areas.
Yeah.
We couldn't actually specific on one point, but it looks like I have gone all around. By God's grace, this October, at the end of the month, I'll be married for 27 years.
Wow.
Okay. Together, like we have stayed together for 25, but 2 years I was in Africa, he was here. But we can be on the phone like hours until I came and I saw his phone bills. I'm talking about the 94, 90, 93, 94. And when I came, some of his phone bills can be like 600, 1,000. That tells you how strong love and intimacy and all those things is. Because when he calls me, we can talk and we forget that he's going to pay for it at the end of the day. But in a nutshell, what I would say is that marriage is work. Maybe if you listen to this program a lot, you can hear me say that a lot. Marriage is work. The 27 years that me and my husband have been married, I won't tell you we have been like rosy, kissing, lady. Yes, those moments comes, we have it. But one has to learn to be patient. Get to know why you choose to marry the person you are marrying. No matter what happened, there was one thing that gets you attracted to that one person. Because in life we come in contact with so many people. You, as men, you can see thousands, millions of women. Women, we see millions, and men, like a whole lot. But we always end up with one that we finally walk to the altar with. So once you have made that decision, you yourself have to learn how to be patient in every area. We have cried, we have laughed, we have joked, a whole lot of things. Storms in marriage, childbearing, having kids, raising kids, it had not been easy. I can tell you, I tell my husband sometime in the night, my head hurts, but my head doesn't hurt. I don't feel it. He knows. He's listening to it. So I'm not coming to tell you that, oh, I'm always ready. No. But with the beginning, we struggle a lot. But as we are growing together, he's understanding me. So he knows when and when not to. So it's not a hassle. You know, he calls me some names, and when I see that names coming 2 or 3 times in a week, that means when he come home, he knows. I know what he's expecting. You know,
that's a sign.
Oh, there has to be a love language between you and your husband. When I call him a certain name, he knows what I need. When I call him a certain name, he knows what I want him to do. So, if you are out there and you are married, and things are not flowing as the way it's supposed to be, sometimes I will say, take a seat, take a deep breath, assess your life, and see that if things that are going on, if it's coming from you, learn how to say, I'm sorry. To tell you the truth, my husband can say sorry. Sometimes I tell him that, now your sorry is not sorry again. You know, he is not a man that is too boastful or something that he's like afraid to say I'm sorry. No, when he does something and he knows he did not do right, he will say I'm sorry. If you want a long-lasting marriage, You learn how to forgive. It doesn't matter how painful it is. And on top of it, if there are kids in the marriage, I plead, if you are a woman or a man out there listening to me, learn how to mend that home together. Sometimes women were like, oh, if you leave me, so I will get somebody maybe who is better than you.
I don't know.
Fine, you will get something who is better than you, but the kids are still in the middle. Is he going to be able to love you and love the handbags you are coming with? So please, they will tell you, oh, your husband may not treat you good. I can do better than your husband. I can do this for you. I can do that for you. If they can do that much for somebody who is already being married, why can't they go out there and get somebody who is not in a matrimonial home to do such precious stuff for them? They are lying. Never let anybody lie to you that they can be the Superman or the Mr. Right for you instead of your husband. Never open ears to that. And once you are not doing that, loving what you have, being comfortable with what you have, struggles come, learn how to pray, as our brother said. There are some times as a woman, you need to close this tummy and pray for your husband. Pray for your kids. Pray for the marriage. I know where I'm coming from. My house, my family, my father have 27 kids. 28, one died. We have 27. Out of the 27, I can tell you, it's only 3 of the women that by God's grace we have been safe, have been able to marry and enter to marry to my matrimonial home. All my sisters, they can just hug a man and they will have kids without getting married. So for me, I know where I'm coming from. So when things are battling, things are getting all crazy in my house, I know something is being stirred up in the spirit, and I know when to find my secure place to hide. So if you are out there, you are a Christian, and things are happening, you may think, oh, maybe he doesn't love me anymore, that's why he's doing that, so I let him be. Beloved, no. Things may be going somewhere. As our brother said, as a woman, be on your knees. And once you cry, God will answer. If things are not going right in the bedroom, I know a woman that when she was getting married, thought the husband, manhood was going to be this and that and that. And before they know, it was like, she was shocked. And she had to pray. And God answered her. I know a woman who at the first night when they met the husband, the man take off his clothes, they were about to have sex. He's like, oh, this is what you have. I'm gone. She packed her things and left. There are so many things in marriage, but in it all, if you have God on your side, there is nothing you cannot survive in marriage.
There's nothing you cannot survive in marriage. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. This is where time will permit us to drop the curtains. We're going to continue this topic the next month coming, which will be on November. So if you were late and if you didn't catch up with us, go to the previous programs. You see where we're coming from. We made mention about the 7 keys in marriage, and we treated that, and this where we came to drop the point. So we're gonna come on your way next week the same time, or next month the same time. We'll be alerting you all of our programs. So thank you so much for joining us. It's 15 minutes past the hour 4. We thank you for staying with us, and I thank my father was watching, and I really thank you, Daddy. God bless you so much for watching us this evening, for joining us. So join us. We're coming on your way next week. It's gonna be the pulpit. We're treating the realms of the prophecy. So we're gonna come on your way next week the same time. Watch out on that program. It's going to be awesome. We have great ministers of God who are coming in the person of Pastor Akufu from Apostolic Church, and we have Apostle Praise Bonsu. We have Reverend Pius Bosiako. We have Brother Konto, and we have a lady coming from Cincinnati, a lady pastor, Londona Ari. Thank you so much for joining us. It's gonna be awesome. So don't waste my time. It's gonna be very powerful. I have great 5 minutes is coming on that great show. So don't stay at home. Okay, don't go anywhere. Join us. It's gonna be awesome. Thank you so much once again for joining us. Thanks to my producers who doing the production. It was wonderful, and thank you so much, Melissa Christina. You've been a blessed unto us each and every time we call on you, and you be faithful. You be loyal to us every day, every minute we call you. And to our great guests who couldn't make it today, we thank God for your life, and we know that you have so many things to help our viewers, and we do bless you for what God has made you. Thank you so much. You can call me Richoko. This how and where we're gonna end the show. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful and a blessed day. 27 like